Welcome into this week's preview of the Houston Texans visiting Lambeau Field and taking on the Green Bay Packers. We have a fun matchup. We've got the Houston Texans, who are 5-1. They just beat the Patriots last week, 41-21, coming into Green Bay against the Packers, who have been rolling quite recently with their defense, and now Jordan Love, fully healthy, throwing the ball all over the place. So this is going to be a fun one. I've taken a look at the Texans for you so you know what to expect this week. Let's dive right into the film. Obviously, one of the key players is going to be Mr. CJ Stroud in his second year in the league, and he has just been on a tear. All right, so this, I just want to show you his patience, his eyes, his feel for the pocket. Right, so pocket, he gets some pressure from the inside on both ends, right, and he's just going to step up. But if you notice his eyes, right, his eyes are still looking downfield, and you've got that in-breaker opening up. So that is just well done by Stroud. Steps up, throws it. It's a low ball. There's potential that it hits the ground, and this is going to be perfect going into the next play. So the next play, camera operator gets caught slacking a little bit because Stroud gets the team to the line, and he snaps the ball. All right, chains aren't even set yet, and this is just going to be that awareness to get the ball snapped. Don't let the other team get a look at it. Don't let them challenge it. And again, you're just going to get a first down here as well because they're playing off coverage. And Stephon Diggs is just going to run this 10-yard out, 12 yards, catch it, first down, no review, and another first down that keeps the offense moving. So just good job by Stroud to keep this offense moving. Don't let the other team get a challenge. Get to the line quick, and then get the ball off and keep your team on the field. And here we've got some play action. You had Joe Mixon, who is healthy, going to have a motion that comes in. Play action to Stephon Diggs. Mixon crosses, and you've essentially got man coverage here. All right, and if you're playing man and you're trying to defend these crossers in the red zone, good luck. All right, you got a chase behind here. Tank Dell catches it. Just a good ball here by Stroud, and you'll see it from the end zone angle as well. Play action, chasing, throws a dart right where his guy can get it, and a nice touchdown. So Stroud come in, he's going to be a challenge for this Packers defense. Now I'll be jumping around between offense and defense here. This is just showing you a long stunt. It's going to be on this bottom side of the screen. All right, so just getting that creative pressure on these third down, second down situations. So our Packers offense is going to have to be ready for those long stunts, and there's going to be other plays that I'll show you later on where they get significant more pressure. Then again, this is a not so great Patriots offensive line. Here's another red zone play. This one is going to be a pick route. It's just going to be designed perfectly. All right, Patriots for some reason played a ton of man, right, and that's going to mess them up here. So Schultz not intentionally doing this. Obviously, he's just running his route, but Mixon is going to be wide open in the flat, and that's just an easy touchdown. So luckily, the Packers, they don't play a ton of man. All right, I think only about 25%, 1/4 of their snaps are man, and they're in zone for the rest. But hopefully the Packers aren't in too many situations like this. And here, the Patriots, again, it's tough evaluating this film because the Patriots are not that great as a team right now, and you've got a rookie starter in there. You've got Drake May, and a veteran QB is going to see this box. You've got 8 in the box, and he's probably going to check out of this run. But one thing I noticed on the film, you'll see it on this play, is how aggressive the middle linebackers are. As soon as they recognize it's a run, they're already moving downhill, and they're knifing through. And I think the Packers are going to be fortunate. At least the most recent that I've seen on the injury report is both of their starting middle linebackers, the inside linebackers, were on the injury report, one with a concussion, one with a knee, and they haven't practiced yet. That obviously could change, throughout the weekend. But if those two guys don't go, then it might be good for the Packers' run game. All right, next play, you've just got cover one. You've got your one high safety. You've got man across the board. He's going to try to throw it to this route, and this is just that inaccuracy. You can't make mistakes Safety's on this side of the field because you've got 3 receivers here, right? So he doesn't necessarily need to help that weak side. He's going to help where there's more potential targets. So he's going to step up. He recognizes that crosser. And if that's a better ball, that's a completion, but it is overthrown by Drake May. So continues to return the ball. But even though they're getting these turnovers in this last game, I would say that the secondary has been a little bit of a weak spot for the Texans. And I know we saw this on the Packers film that I've reviewed, but we're going to take a look at this matchup. This is just good recognition of a screen, right, on the bottom of the screen. So he notices, hands peel away. All right, this guy should be blocking me. He shouldn't be just running away like that. Recognizes it and gets an incomplete pass. So this Texans defense is quite disciplined. D'Amico Ryans is obviously a good defensive coach, and you kind of notice that in the film. On this play, we'll focus on Will Anderson. He's got a few sacks in this game and a few that I will show on this film, but I think the Packers will probably be a little bit better on this. Zach Tom is one of the top tackles in the league at the moment in his pass blocking, so I don't think he's going to get around that easy. And I think what they'll try to do is what I showed earlier, those twists, the stunts, try to make it more complicated for the inside guys, because I think Myers is one of the lower rated. He hasn't played very well. Myers is probably going to be the target of this Texans defense, and they're going to work those stunts on the inside to get pressure. And as I mentioned earlier, Joe Mixon is healthy, and here you're just going to get a big run by him. So he's another guy that you're going to have to focus on. Just finds that lane and takes off for a big run. Going to get a good block that springs him open here. Just a traditional zone here. A little bit of a wham. So this tight end motioning over, it's essentially like a trap, but it's with the tight end coming over and allowing the offensive line to move up to that next level, and that just creates a seam. In this play, Stroud is going to throw a pick. I think it's just unlucky, but again, you get man coverage, or match principle, really. It's not entirely man, but a match principle. And 15 does a good job of getting his hand up. That's going to tip the ball up in the air, and the safety does a good job of following through and picking that off. So I didn't see Stroud make a ton of mistakes, and I wouldn't even say that this one was necessarily a mistake. This is just kind of a good play by the defense, and you'll see it from this angle as well. Eyes downfield, feels that pressure. That's, again, just a great job here. Feels that pressure. Not even looking. Still looking at his target downfield. Rips it, no wasted motion. And that's just on, if that's on his front shoulder instead of his back shoulder, that might be a completion. All right, so just a hair off, and it gets tipped up, and they just happen to be in position to get that pick. But I think there's some potential here for Jacobs in the pass game, or our backs in the pass game on the outlet, because here we've got a little bit of a burst, right? A check through burst. There's pressure he's supposed to be looking for because you've got 5 on the line. So running back is going to step up in the middle here, see if there's any pressure, and if not, he's going to kind of burst across the ball and get to the outside. And by doing this, nobody goes with him because you've got this vertical route. So that middle linebacker is no longer paying attention, and that's going to be a wide open outlet. So I think there is potential here that Jacobs is going to be used a lot as an outlet this game, as long as Love decides not to play hero ball. Here we're going to have, from the opposite side now, Will Anderson down here, get a bull rush and work to the inside. His previous sack, he used a speed rush, got outside, got a little bit of a lean, and this time he's just going to run right through. He's going to run through, rip, and get the quarterback. So Will Anderson showing a lot of pass rush skills, using his hands, using that speed, and that's something that the Packers are definitely going to have to be ready for. And Stroud, when he's pressured, actually has a higher rate than when he's not pressured, and you just see this here. This is just perfect play here. He gets to his outlet. He realizes I've got 3 blitzing from the right. If I've got 3 guys blitzing from the right, where do you think the empty grass is? All right, and that's something that you want to look for as a quarterback, right? Look at all this green grass. You have these 3 that have vacated that side. So that's just going to leave you this open outlet and a ton of room. So he's going to notice that. He gets to his outlet very fast. And he's down the field 15, 16 yards. So just good job there. You'll see it from his point of view, the end zone angle at least. All right, you got this pressure. You got the stunt coming in. You've got 3 rushers on 1. And you're just going to get that outlet. So Stroud, very good against pressure. Not sure how much pressure Hafley is going to bring, but it'll be interesting to see how he handles it. Yeah, this is kind of a Drake May highlight, but you're going to get some pressure here. And of course, with pressure, oftentimes you're going to be man across the board. All right, so you're going to have man, and he's going to take a shot on the outside here. So this is just going to be a great job, good recognition by Drake May. He notices the safety. He's on this far left side of the field. So he's not playing on the strong side with the trips this time. Instead, he's playing on that single side. And Drake May is going to recognize that. And you've got a guy open here, but he also has a one-on-one shot on the outside. So he sets up, takes that one-on-one shot at a perfect ball, and is able to get it over the top. So Texans in this game, at least against the Patriots, they were playing significantly more man, and they were living and dying with the man coverage. That's just a good ball there. One of the other studs on this defensive line is going to be Danielle Hunter. We obviously know him quite well in Green Bay since he was on the Vikings for a very, very long time, but he is just as good as he's ever been. All right, and he's going to get a sack here, a forced fumble, and a turnover for the Texans. And they've been, at least recently, a turnover machine, just like the Packers defense. In this game, they get multiple turnovers, and it'll be interesting to see how safely both teams play this game because of that. The Texans might not have Nico Collins, but they still do have Stephon Diggs. They still have Tank Dell. But we're going to focus on Diggs on this one, and this is just going to be a great route. He's going to set up outside. He's going to attack the outside leverage, and then he's going to quickly cut across the face. And that's going to be an easy touchdown. But you'll notice this DB, his leverage, because Diggs is taking that outside release, attacking his outside hip, right? He is forced to move a little bit further outside, and that's just going to be an easy touchdown for the Texans. So sets up outside, keeps himself square, breaks across the face, and Stroud recognizes it. Man coverage, easy touchdown. And this one I'll just let play as well. Not going to break down the others, but you've just got forced fumble on this one. You can see the pursuit of the defense. You got 1, 2, 3 guys there. 5 end up being near the ball, and they end up with a fumble recovery. So this team does a very good job of chasing down the ball carrier and punching as well. So you'll see it here from this end zone angle, the punch that gets this ball out. Completion, almost incomplete. And then 0 there comes in with that right hook, forces the ball out, and they get a fumble recovery. And we know the Packers love play action, but that's one of the things that can slow down these linebackers. Notice how aggressive they are in the red zone, especially against that run. All right, they're moving up 2 to 3 yards. And because their eyes are in the backfield, they lose their responsibility. So that's going to be something that the Packers need to exploit. All right, you've got Petrie, who's their nickel, who gets sucked into that run, and that little check release is going to be wide open for a touchdown. And here we go, the Texans playing in man again, and they're going to get beat yet again. So you've got that crosser route. This looks very similar to the route that was open earlier. It's just there's no fade on the outside. So they checked it to make sure that they're doing hitches at the sticks, hooks at the sticks, and this crosser is still on. So he's moving across the field and able to score his second touchdown of the game. But Drake May does a good job there, leading his receiver wide open in man. So on these third downs, when they were playing these pressure situations, Packers need to take advantage of those man coverage situations. All right, so that's going to be all the film that I'm going to show you guys this week. My prediction, I don't know if I'm going to give a score. I do think that the Packers are going to win this one. It is going to be closely contested, but you know, the thing is, the injuries are going to play a factor. Right now, the Texans are more banged up than the Packers, which is hard to believe, but I think that is going to be the difference maker in this one. Packers are obviously at home as well, so it'll be very interesting. It'll be very exciting to watch CJ Stroud and Jordan Love face off, two young QBs. So I'm happy to watch those two play, and we'll see if this Jeff Hafley defense can continue to cause turnovers for a quarterback that is pretty efficient and pretty calm and poised in the pocket. So if you guys enjoy this type of content, please leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.